Hello, everybody. It is Saturday. Saturday Night Fever. Woo! Let's do it. I'm seeing the like button before I even see anybody on. There's Jennifer. Hello, how are you tonight, Jennifer? Michelle. We're doing our Saturday Night Fever. Hey, Angie. How are you? Heather. Dennis is in the house. He's one day older. Hey, Adele. Vina, on the early side tonight. Catherine. Hello again, Catherine. Yes, we talked today. I kept your husband from projects. Hey, Dana. Stephanie. Pat, how's your husband doing? Karen, happy Easter. Yes, we're getting towards Easter. The bunny is coming. The bunny has been labeled an essential worker, so the Easter bunny is coming. Do not fear. I have heard both the Easter bunny in New Zealand, both the Easter bunny and the tooth fairy are essential workers, but I know for sure the Easter bunny is essential in the U.S. That was so voted. Pasadena is in the house. Jenny Walker has joined us. We went with the wine tonight, folks. How we doing? Gwen in Denver, Colorado. I've talked to people in Colorado today. Stella hopped on. I love it, Stella. That was great. Oh, how's everybody this Saturday? What are we grateful for? What are we grateful for this Saturday? Hey, Valor. Diane, how are you? Great to see you on here tonight, Diane. Chris is with us. Happy Saturday, Chris. Good to have everybody with us this Saturday night. Hopefully everybody's had a slower paced day, taking some time to see the sunshine. I even got out briefly for a walk this afternoon, which was nice. It was very nice to be able to get out in the sunshine anyways. It's cold here in New England today, though. The wind is blowing like crazy. So we probably only hit 40 or something today. Hey, Kitty. Happy birthday, Kitty Boyce. It is Kitty's birthday today. So everybody, happy birthday, Kitty. It's good to talk to you earlier, Kitty, on your birthday. And great to have you here with us tonight. What's everybody grateful for? Jenny got Chipotle today after over a month. It's also Rick Neth's birthday today. I don't know if he'll be on tonight, but it is Rick's birthday today. Hey, Joanne, how's things in Arizona tonight? I hear it is good tanning weather in Arizona. I heard from my store landscaper, they actually retired to Arizona. I heard from them today. Well, semi-retired. He still owns the landscape company. That's true, Kitty. It is a better birthday than last year. Your husband's smoking brisket and pork for lunch tomorrow. Ooh, that sounds good, Heather. What time should we be over? You know, I have driven to Iowa before. It wouldn't be the first trip time. Ooh, Karen, you got the store prepared for painting. I love it. Crystal in Colorado is also with us tonight. That's awesome. I know, Joanne, but you're safe where you are, and the weather's better than where you are. You're smoking pulled pork. Nice, Crystal. Not kosher, but good. I don't think kosher was on your list for that, but that's okay. I am glad everybody's cooking up a storm here. Kelly in the convertible. Whoa! Love it. Love that. That sounds nice. I got to sign me up for that. I don't have a convertible. I have a sunroof, but it was too cold for that today. When my sister comes up from Texas, even in the middle of the winter, when she comes up, you know, she likes to drive around up here with the windows down and the sunroof open. So, you know, she can come in January, and whenever I pick her up, that's the first thing she does, is roll down the windows. Well, I guess we don't roll down windows anymore. Push the button for the windows and open the sunroof. So I'm glad I don't have a convertible in the winter, because my sister would be doing that in Texas. Jennifer Johnson, you're not going to say you're grateful that you got a new oven? I did not see that show up in my thing. Hey, Sylvia, thanks for joining us tonight. Hang on, I'm double checking my feed. No, I don't see Jennifer saying she's grateful for her new oven, but I know she's got one. And that's actually my lead topic tonight, Jennifer's new oven. Hang on a second, I got stuff for that. Well, actually, let's do our good morning, good night, people. All right, I got something for that tonight, Jennifer. I thought of you when it showed up in my thing, and I'm going to load it to Nards tomorrow, but wait until you see it. Okay, we are in our good morning, good night book. Good morning. I believe in you. Not always in our leaders, not always in subway schedules, but always in you. You, unwavering. That is our good morning today. Barb Gallo, welcome to the party. So, let's see. It's National Pet Day. Where's all our pets? Hang on a second, I don't even have one of my pets. Oh, Cassandra's cooking in the kitchen. That's where my pets are. But today is National Pet Day, which is pretty cool. And I think we should have a post-dated pet day and maybe post those pictures tomorrow of all our pets, because I know we have a lot of them out there. But what do I have for Jennifer's oven? Did anybody else see this? Did it show up in anybody else, or am I just a cookie person? As most of you know, I mean, lots of hotels and everything are closed, and you know, one of the Hilton brands, if you travel any, is the DoubleTree hotels. And DoubleTree is famous for their DoubleTree signature cookies. Whenever you check in, you get a DoubleTree signature cookies. And yes, the DoubleTree cookie. That is correct. Well, DoubleTree has closed all those, and they have posted the recipe on their website. Okay, and I have a PDF of it that I'll post in Nards tomorrow, because we need some good stuff. So this is the actual true recipe. There's lots of people that have done different things over the years to try to come close to the recipe, but Hilton actually put out the recipe, and it is available. And I will post it in Nards tomorrow for everybody to have, because everybody needs a feel-good recipe. Hey, Ellen, thanks for joining us. Hey, Anita, good to have you here. So, that I thought was really cool today. And I thought it was very appropriate that was posted today with Jennifer getting her new oven. So, that was great. Remember, I didn't actually read it, because I'm not going to actually make it. But I'm willing to taste test anybody that does make it. And our Chamber of Commerce that we our Chamber of Commerce, that Jennifer, that's actually a good idea that Kelly suggested. You could make some money right now, where, you know, in addition to what's going on in your store, you could make money selling cookies. But our Chamber of Commerce has a lot of their breakfast meetings in the chamber, and so it's not uncommon for me to go get a cookie on my way out. And I actually stayed at one recently in, where was I? I was at New Digs. I was in Maryland, so I was at New Digs with Kelly and Sadiqa a few weeks ago. Well, what seems like a few weeks ago. I don't even know when it was. I was with them not that long ago, I think, and I was at a DoubleTree, and the lady at the front desk, for some reason, liked me and hooked me up with extra cookies, so I was all in on that. So that is really cool. So, you know, we're also at, hang on a second. This is the 50th anniversary of, okay. I don't know that this deserves a but maybe some of you can guess it. Houston, we have a problem. Anybody know what I'm talking about? Houston, we have a problem. It is the 50th anniversary of that. Call to Houston. They didn't pick up the phone in the kitchen and make that call. That was Apollo 13. Okay, we are at the 50th anniversary of Apollo 13. And what can we learn? No, not landing on the moon. They didn't have a problem with that. That was Neil Armstrong, one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. Okay? But Apollo 13, that was supposed to go to the moon, but had a problem when they were in space. And they basically, from the movie, from those of us that have seen the movie, they had to figure out how to keep these guys alive in space, okay, to get them home, and fit things in things that weren't designed to work together, And so you had tremendous ingenuity, devotion, and great courage. And those are great lessons that we can take with us today as we work through our current challenges to get to the other side of what we face here as a country, as the world really facing this pandemic, but as a country, as business people, because we're having to innovate, we're having to do things differently, we're having to look for new ways. Remember, we are stubborn in our goals. Apollo 13's goals was to get those men home safely, okay, those astronauts home safely. Our goal is to get the country back running, get our businesses back running, because we are the American dream. We are Main Street. No, Sarah, that's not true. Sarah asked, there's so much internet junk out there right now. I want to scream. I want to take over the internet. Okay? There's just so much wrong information out there, and it kills me. So let me, I guess I might as well, since we faked the moon landing, I might as well deal with some of the fakes that are going on the internet at the top of the show tonight. Okay? So, no, if you've got an application number, you're all set. That's the real key with applying. If you've got an application number, I'll post tomorrow the login. You can go to the login page. We're going to get there. The economic injury disaster loan, if you've got an application number, you're fine. If you didn't do the short application and you want to get the advance, okay, you can reapply, and they will combine the applications, and you will get the advance based on up to $10,000, based on $1,000 per full-time equivalent, up to $10,000. But if you have an early enough application number, and I've got a pretty good database of based on application numbers of when people applied, because some people don't know when they applied, but you can toss me your application number, and I can pop it into my spreadsheet, and I can tell you when you applied. But, things are moving along with that. And one of the other internet rumors today was that the economic injury disaster loan is running out of money. Okay? Hey, Dana, thanks for joining us tonight. And Jeff. I'm guessing Jeff is right there with you, Dana. The economic injury disaster loan is out of money is one of the internet rumors today. Okay, that people that don't have good information are putting out there. The economic injury disaster loan can't really run out of money. That is funded by Treasury directly. Okay, they are funding it. They can add more money to it anytime they want. They do not have to go to Congress to get that authorization. The Payroll Protection Program has not run out of money, will eventually run out of money, okay? but will get reauthorized by Congress. Congress has to authorize more money for the payroll protection program. They will do it when it runs out of money. People are hearing that because certain banks they bank with have hit their cap. There's a lending cap, okay, and asset caps that banks have, and they have to sell off those loans before they can make more loans. That was the whole Wells Fargo problem this week. But the Fed is buying up the loans that the banks are making, and then the banks can open it back up and lend to people. So a lot of misinformation out there on the internet. And that's part of why we do this every night, is so that we can keep things fresh and decrease anxiety, because I don't want you to, fear. We're going to get to the other side of this. We are going full steam ahead to the other side, and we are totally going to get there. Speaking of which, now, while the SBA is revamping their site, so that you'll be able to do your closings for your economic injury disaster loan online. I want to show you what the mailed packet looks like. This is what the mailed packet of closing documents looks like. And this is the envelope. Ta-da! I need noisemakers and fireworks. Woo! Okay. This is what it looks like. The funny thing with this is their mailroom isn't very efficient. Okay? All my online sellers know that they could put this in a priority envelope and ship it for how much? How much was a priority mail envelope? Any of my shipping people out there? How much is a priority mail envelope? Anybody? I think it's about $7 for a priority mail business envelope. Yeah, this isn't the reduction of paperwork. I can tell you with the online, you will need to make sure, if you have an inkjet printer, you're going to want to make sure you have extra ink and paper. So when they say you can complete your closing online, you have to print things and scan them and send them back. Even take pictures of them with your phone and send them back. You can do that, but you need a lot of ink in your printer, okay? Yeah, that's right, $7.95. That's correct. The U.S. government, they're not always the most efficient. So the U.S. Small Business Administration, $13.65 to mail this. $13.65, and it took 10 days to get to me. Not everything they're doing is efficient. They're really working hard to make things better, and they are improving their computer systems. But don't get caught without ink in your printer when you get the opportunity to close. You want to be able to have ink in your printer and be able to print those documents and have paper to print it on. So, and since these become legal documents, you want to use not paper that you're recycling and you've already printed on one side of, and now you're printing on the other side. You want to make sure that it is ready for you. Okay? So, keep that in mind. Another topic that has come up today to keep in mind is all of these programs, because I've had this talk with a few people today, and I'm like, I know I've talked about it, but maybe I haven't talked about it enough. All of these programs, the Payroll Protection Program, the Economic Injury Disaster Loan, not-for-profits can take advantage of them. Usually not-for-profits are excluded from these programs, but not-for-profits can apply for and take advantage of these programs. So don't hesitate if you're a not-for-profit to take advantage of them. You can get take advantage of the Payroll Protection Program for your paid staff. You can take advantage of the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. They want these nonprofits. I know not-for-profits are running extra tight right now. This is the spring season, just like a lot of us have a big spring season. This is when a lot of not-for-profits have big galas or fundraisers, and they're losing out on that too. So this is when they rain money, and they're not getting the rain of money either, but these programs are available to you. So please take advantage of that. We're stubborn in our goals, but flexible in our methods. You can choose to let this define you. I've talked about that. Anything on my worst list, all the worst things that have happened to us could have defined us. You can choose to let what's going on right now confine you. You can choose to have it refine you or outshine you. Or you can choose to move on and leave it behind you. And that's what we're going to do with this. We are moving forward. And with moving forward beyond where we are now is, there's a coupon I printed a coupon for Cassandra for CVS. It's mixed in with my NART stuff. I better not do that. It was a free $3 coupon. Every $3 counts. So one of the things that, yeah, that's fine, Vicky, to have reapplied. You know, basically the reapplication was to get the advance. There's also a scam one out there that tells you to reapply or check on, that didn't come from the SBA. So watch where you are with that. Because make sure you are, if you're doing anything, that you're really on the SBA's website and not on a fake site. It's best to always just go with your web browser than click on a link, because there's a lot of scammers out there. Hey, Delight, it was a true pleasure to talk with you today. It really was. I really enjoyed talking with you. And you've got a whole different set of things being on an island. So, one of the things that are being worked on is, how does the country reopen, okay? And how do states regulations, because you have the federal government, how it thinks things should reopen, which I think we're going to hear from the president sometime next week on, but the governors have a lot of power in this, as you know, because they're the ones that shut down state by state. It wasn't a national shutdown that we went through here. We did a state by state thing. So I have some draft restart proposals that are being proposed at the state level, and a bunch of the states are actually getting together to have similar proposals. The idea is to have more consistency so that businesses know. You have to keep in mind, retail employs 1 in 4 people in some way in this country. So it is the largest private sector employer, and as an industry, and we're a part of that. Resale is a part of retail, okay, is a segment of it. And so they're really working hard to get a cohesive message so that if it's a chain and they have a store in this town and they have 5 miles away, it's not, the store over here is closed or can only operate this way and the store over there can't, with the exception of some of the hardest hit areas still going on. So this is a example. This is just draft, okay? It was sent to me for my comments, and I certainly welcome your comments on this. Should you have thoughts, please send them to me. You know the email address. It's Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com. That's Neil at ECIstores.com. So, this is based on, in the Northeast, a lot of our states are at May 4th. So we're gonna do that. So, assuming when the day is hit, the bullet points are as follows. Allow a statewide 40% fire code occupancy standard, including staffing in essential and non-essential facilities, including stores, restaurants, warehousing, office buildings, manufacturing facilities, etc. So an initial opening, when you're allowed to reopen and be out, 40% of your occupancy, which for most of our stores will not be a problem. Okay? Implement an appropriate range of employee testing/protection procedures as available and affordable, allowing a variety of temperature, antibodies tests, supplying masks, face covers, gloves, etc. Bullet number 3, implement customer safety. Establish sufficient social distancing parameters, including 6-foot standard implement CDC cleaning and sanitizing standards and suggested face coverings, etc., and make either restrooms for hand washing or sanitizer available. Step 4. Initially reduce pre-closure order weekly operating hours by 20%. So not only reduce your occupancy to 40%, so we're at 60% reduction in your maximum occupancy in your buildings, but reduce your operating hours by 20% to ensure ongoing sanitation and cleaning efforts. For essential businesses, continue at-risk customer hours for each day open. Continue pause on self-serve food stations. Continue temporary ban on reusable bags, permissible use of plastic bags until all restrictions are lifted. If appropriate, remove or further loosen above standards by Memorial Day weekend. And a consumer confidence plan. Accelerate the sales tax holiday in states under the assumption to June, assuming consumer/seller restrictions are lifted, and implement a buy in your state consumer education efforts to focus people on getting out and supporting businesses in their state. So those are the broad outlines of looking at a May opening, and what that would allow, and what the various business groups and advocacy groups are looking at to try to develop a universal message with our government leaders. And that's a draft proposal that I'm being asked to comment on and provide feedback on. A lot of really sensible stuff in there. To get back to operating as safely as possible. Sarah, that's great. You're already setting up appointment matrix on your site for custom shopping appointments as well. That's great. That's a great idea. I can't post this actually this way because it's a draft proposal. So I'm under restriction from doing that, Karen, for the committees that I sit on. So I can't post that in full. I can talk about it in a general sense, but I can't actually post it yet. And that's just a draft. So hit rewind and replay me. But that is just a draft as it stands right now. But a couple of key points there in our world is a 40% of fire code, which for most of us, I had been saying it'll probably be half, and again, think restaurants, okay? They're not going to have two tables open next to each other. Think movie theaters. They're not going to let two seats be right next to each other. They're going to have to stage that, okay? In most of our stores, we're not Costco and having those surge crowds. In most of our stores, that's going to be fine, including staff, okay? And the other part of being reduction in operating hours, I sort of thought that was coming. I hadn't actually said it out loud, I don't know, but I said that your business is going to be slower. And as part of your business being slower, I said that, you may be operating on reduced hours like we did before you were mandated to close. Perfect, Sarah. Absolutely. That's right. You have that tiny, tiny store. But, you are also not having the tourist traffic when you reopen right away either. So, we're going to have to be flexible in our methods. So shopping appointments can do that. Again, we want to connect with our customers. Our customers want to connect with us. We've had so many emails, and so have you, from customers that are just can't wait to get back to support our stores. To get back and see you, give us all, I guess we're going to have to still give virtual hugs probably after this. But we are going to get to the other side of this. We're going to be welcoming our customers back. They want to be welcomed back. Yes, that is correct, Kelly. That is actually one of my notes, okay? It is the word daily in there. Okay, but, it's to to promote things and get things going. And quite honestly, it's not a bad thing because, it's not going to be back to gangbusters overnight, even if you were able to operate at full operating hours. So I think the reduction in some of that, these are good common sense recommendations, and they're really trying to do it and get these proposals so that they're universal among many states. It's a yin-yang, Eric. The thought on the reduction is cleanliness, so you have more time to clean and keep things sanitary. But, I get it. Cassandra stopped at BJ's on our way home last night and, enjoyed being there after the rush. Being there just before closing was nice because there wasn't anybody in the store. So that was a good time versus I've heard some of you today being out at the grocery stores and things, that it was really kind of nuts out there today in that. I also have... this I can post tomorrow, and it is from American Express, the sponsor of Small Business Saturday, and it's the future of shopping small, okay? And it's about adapting your business for the future and the future of selling, and it's actually a pretty good handbook, and I'll post this tomorrow. One of the things they highlight is should you have how secondhand is going to be huge in shopping in the new shopping world, which we already know because the big guys are after that. The big guys, Nordstrom's, Neiman's, Macy's, all the guys have added those little sections of resale in their store. Just a small segment, not doing it well, but they're adding it. And how resale is going to play a huge part in the future of shopping small. So I was really excited to see that from them and do that. Other issues today. It's been a slower day for issues. I think a lot of things have taken the weekend off and just to recuperate, which is not a bad thing. Is again the math on the PPP, and that's okay. The math with the economic injury to disaster loan, the math with the PPP. There's a lot of individual idiosyncrasies with those. What I do not want anyone to do is to take the PPP and use it as a loan because they think it's low interest. I don't want you to do that. If you can't use it for a grant, I don't want you to take it. It's not a good deal. If you're not going to get it converted to a grant by having your payroll, the payroll back to be able to use it, I don't want you to take it yet. It's really important because that's what it's designed for. 75% of payroll, 75% of your full-time equivalent headcount. If you can't do it for that, and you feel like your back's up against the wall, call me and we'll do the numbers. We'll run the math, okay? That's what the pink calculator's for. I have it. We'll do it. I've done it with all of you, and some of you it really makes sense. Some of it doesn't. That's okay. Whichever way it works, we will step through that. Never hesitate to reach out. Yeah, so many of you, well, I know you're busy. I didn't want to bother you. Bother me. It's okay. That's what I am here for. I am here to answer your questions and help you with when there's something with your individual situation that doesn't make sense in this video. Reach out. It is not a big deal because I am Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com. But again, don't feel backed into a corner because somebody doesn't understand that you can't pay them right now. That's another thing that I've dealt with a lot today. A landlord that doesn't understand that you don't have the funds right now because you've been closed since sometime in mid-March or early March. Remember my 4 things. There's 4 things that you should take care of before you take care of anything else, and hoarding cash is still not a bad idea. Make sure you have food in your belly and food on your family's table. Pay your staff. If you still have staff on or their last payroll because you furloughed them, make sure they are paid. Pay your consignors within your consignor agreement as much as you can. I know not everybody has a fully funded consignment fund, and I'm not throwing stones or picking on anyone with that. Okay, that's not the problem. I just want you to honor your agreement as much as possible. If your agreement is pay on demand in store and you're closed, that's okay too. Letting them know that as soon as you're able to open that they will get paid is fine. and pay your insurance because, like I say, insurance companies suck at understanding flexibility. They understand date and time. I either have your payment at midnight or they don't have your payment at midnight, and if they don't have your payment, your insurance is out of there. So just keep those things in mind. Hoarding cash, Sylvia, just because you don't know when the end is. Okay, so be frugal in what you're paying because you don't know where the end is, and some people just don't have the extra funds. Vina, we should talk. Okay, you should be able to get them to do 10 days no matter what because the guidance says they have 10 days. Okay, that the guidance, and it's just guidance, is 10 days. But in your case, the numbers may work. We should just have a chat whenever you're ready. Whether you're ready tomorrow on Easter and you want to have a chat about it, or on Monday, happy to have that chat. Now, Kelly, if you get your PPP and call your staff back to work, okay, and even though the unemployment system is backlogged, so this is a great question, Kelly, and one that I've gotten. Okay, because the states are backlogged with unemployment, and some of them are really behind at getting your people, they will always collect, even in arrears, in retro, the unemployment they were entitled from the time they were furloughed to the time you bring them back on. So if you bring them back on and they start getting your checks first, they will still be able to collect the unemployment plus the extra $600 a week for that time in between. But that's a great question because people have asked that, and I'm glad you brought it up here. If your bank guy, Sylvia's bank's going to put the PPP into a line of credit, and that way it would not be considered dispersed until you dipped into it. If he's able to do that, again, small banks and regional banks are doing some very creative things. If they're doing that and they're willing to put that in writing that it's not considered dispersed till then that is phenomenal. Okay, that is great. I love the small banks that are finding creative ways to delay the disbursement date. Okay, and because that really actually helps businesses. You know, rushing to get it out there is not helping businesses that aren't open. So that is a really good thing. Did I answer everything else there? I think I did. I think that's about it tonight, guys. We had a shorter night tonight. Let's take a look at our Good Morning, Good Night book here tonight. Again, for those of you that weren't here earlier, our good morning was, I believe in you. Not always in our leaders, not always in the subway schedules, but always in you. You, unwavering. Our good night tonight is, I believe in you. Not always in our institutions, not always in my own strength. Wimpy. But always in you. You, evergreen. That is our good night tonight, people. You know where to find me. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have an individual question. I am Neil, Neil, at ECIstores.com. You find me here every night at 8 o'clock, answering your questions, bringing you the latest information that I have of what's happening out there, and answering your questions from the day. During the day, I take your calls and return them. If you get a call from a 508 number or a FaceTime from a 508 number, it's coming from me. If you get a call from an 817 number or an 800-366 number, even on Easter, that means the Easter Bunny of the SBA is calling you. Take the call. I will be back again tomorrow night. The replay of this is on YouTube tomorrow afternoon. All the resources are on narts.org. Resale strong. Have a great night, everybody. It's dinner time. I'll see you tomorrow.